Testing, 1, 2, a little bit high there. Testing, 1, 2, and we are live. I was running a minute or two behind because for some reason my claim on Golem Overlord was exactly when 2 minutes ago, basically when I was getting ready to go online. So I was multitasking, getting everything ready for the stream as well as figuring out my attacks, which I did okay this time around, but didn't bring in much. But then I got my claim done. So, hey Alex, thanks for dropping by. We'll switch back over here, but as always, we can talk about, whatever everybody wants to talk about. Go ahead and throw it in the comments if you got something in particular you want to talk about. I suspect the topic today would kind of start off with the current DAO proposal. Which, let's take a look at it. Let's see how it's doing. So we got 70% for and 30% against. And this is interesting. I did make a video about this. It was either yesterday or the day before. And it's interesting because I'm guilty of, let's talk about the butter sausage. I don't get the reference. Maybe it's because I've been multitasking this morning, but I'm not getting the reference. So this is interesting because I did a video on this, and I'm guilty of, I guess, thinking from my perspective and not thinking outside of the realms of an older guy in the United States in a particular high and I don't want to get too in depth with this because it's a socioeconomic kind of conversation and everything, but I figured that a lot of people would be for the proposal as far as hiring the new guy, but I was surprised to find that there were some people that were against it, not necessarily against it from the aspect of having an extra person. And the reason, let's see, Alex says, I voted no. I always vote no in Splinterheads. Well, what surprised me was the reason. Okay, so the reasoning behind a lot of people voting no wasn't necessarily because they didn't think we needed a person to be in charge of the DAO, for the separation of the DAO from the game, and to handle the various things that Matt wants him to handle. The idea was maybe that from their perspective, where he lived, and it was basically too much pay. So that's the takeaway I got from a few people. So let me know in the comments what you think. International Travel Channel in the house. Guten Tag. Thanks for dropping by later in the day for you. Alex says pay him $15,000. This whole discussion is very interesting. I do agree, and I forget who had put it in the comments to my video, but I do agree that with the person's comment that it seems like it was almost like a hookup, so to speak. Whether it was because Matt felt bad for having to lay him off, and if in that aspect, if I was one of the other people on the team, man, I would be really feeling bad because I didn't get the hookup, right? And in the other aspect, if the guy is actually a real life friend of Matt's, then it is actually a true hookup, right? So I agree with the fact that maybe this should have been put out and a much more open job application so multiple people could apply for it. Just like a standard job application. Hey, these are the requirements. This is what the pay is going to be. Go ahead and send your application in. But also, I can see it from Matt's side of view in the fact that he knows this guy hopefully can do the job, and it's going to save him a lot of time in the fact of a lot of time with these type of jobs. It's difficult and time-consuming process to find a perfect fit for a person for this job. I'm just speaking from the aspect of a person that works in the software company, and I see how these job applications go in the fact that sometimes it takes a long time to get a person that is a perfect fit for a job, you know, to hire the right person. So I can see it from both perspectives. What was kind of a surprise to me was the argument that that it was too much pay for some people. Feel that the job, I looked at the job, what he's going to require of him, and it seems like a pretty large job to me as far as what he's going to be responsible for. And the pay did not seem ridiculous to me. Of course, everybody has a different perspective where you sit in life and the economy of where you live. So I will come out and I will say I'm guilty. Everything that I say on my video, you should just take from the perspective of where I am, because it's just a personal opinion, right? Everybody, and that's why I like everybody to comment on my videos. I don't usually get a whole lot of comments, but if you have a feeling on what I'm saying, go ahead and leave a comment, because the more conversation we have on the matter, the more different types of perspectives we can see. Okay. So with that said, let's go on. So, hey, Alex, what's the butter sausage about anyway? Let's see. I put out a video yesterday. Let's see here. International Travel Channel says Matt just fired Clay in the layoffs. He must have had his reason for it. I don't know. I mean, some people have brought up the fact that maybe they might be friends. He laid off a bunch of people, and then he's wanting to hire his friend back on using a different set of funds. I don't know. I can't speak to that. I don't know either of them. In fact, I'm not too acquainted with Claiborne. I've seen his name in Discord chat before, and I've seen him once in a while. I've seen him on the town halls and things like that. So I don't know. I don't want to make any assumptions, right? I don't want to jump out on a limb and accuse somebody of doing something or other. I was just looking at it from the perspective that Matt went out of his way to say that he thinks that Claiborne can do the job, and he thinks that the job is worth, you know, that amount of money. Now, if there are these other varying factors behind the scenes, who knows at this point? But it's a valid consideration, and it's valid to talk about it, right? So, okay, so let's go on from that. Let's see here. As I mentioned in my previous video, I've still been letting my Archmage bot play. And as you can see, we're coming down to the end of the season, a little bit less than 2 days left in the season. I'll probably end up right about where I ended up last season with about 55, 56 gold chests. We'll have to see on the silver side on my secondary account. But I did, let's see here, my card of the day is the Mischievous Mermaid for my alpha set, well, for the week. It was about $6.50, $6.35 per BCX. I'm getting up towards the top of the epics, and I was looking at the legendaries, and the legendaries kick up very steeply, so I don't know how far I'm going to be going into the legendaries when we get there. But that's my status as far as that goes. Anybody do anything interesting in Splinterlands? Make any big moves this week? I bought a little bit more SPS, increased my bags there just a little bit. I'm not doing huge amount of time at a time. I'm kind of going from the dollar cost averaging type standpoint. Let's take a look at it. can for some forging in Golem so I can watch. Yeah, I need to do some more homework on that. In Golem Overlord, it's I think we've talked about this before. It's just he's expanding the game so rapidly, and I think unless you have the time to sit there on Discord and listen to him talk about it on a daily basis, you know, all day long, it's easy to fall behind. So I am going to make some more videos about that. I'm just trying to keep my channel kind of mixed. I don't want people who are very interested in Splinterlands to think, oh, Bronze Dragon is dropping off Splinterlands. I'm not doing that. What I am in is I'm kind of in a holding period. I'm still looking for deals, and Ike just says, yep, got 100 plots now. Nice. Good afternoon. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, Alex, I would say, first of all, I am going to do more videos. I'm not going to stop doing videos because I have my guild going, and in fact, we did increase our level this week, and we picked up a few more slots, but more importantly, we picked up that extra percentage point. So now we're up to 2%. We have a couple more levels to go to make that 3%, but we're chugging away. We did take a little bit of a voice vote, and everybody agreed to go to the 3% tax. So we are chugging away to hit that level. I've been kind of sending out random guild invites to try to get some more people. If anybody knows anybody that needs a guild invite in Golem Overlord, let me know. Let's see. Alex says, I got time. Yeah, I would say, because the one thing that I know about Golem Overlord is that Yixen is very vocal and very present in Discord. He has been very good on the off chance once in a while there's a little bit of issue here or there. If you voice, hey, I got a problem with this, he's been very good about tracking down the problem, figuring out what it was. But also as far as, you know, going into Discord and you're saying like, how does this work? There's been some good articles put out by a few of the guys, and I want to feature those because there's been a lot of work put into them. Mostly from the written perspective. I want to talk to, I forget his name, but there's one guy who has been putting out a bunch of articles. I'm kind of looking it up on the side here. Unit Master. So if you go into the Golem Overlord Discord and go under Golem Post, Geo Post, Unit Master has been putting a series of very good articles out about what's going on and the new items and the new things to do in game. And I'm guilty of also being behind the curve, but I have been reading these articles, and my challenge is to go ahead and put together a video on these. But I would also say that a lot of this stuff takes a lot of money, frankly. Stuff on the marketplace right now is expensive. Buying a bunch of boxes is expensive, etc. So I'm in a place where I want to demonstrate some of this stuff, but then I'm like, do I want to spend $100? I fully like the game, but I don't. That doesn't necessarily mean I want to spend $100 on items to, you know, demonstrate it. But I will go through that. Let's go ahead and catch up with chat. Ike said he's up to 100 plots now. Nice. I'm at 10 plots, and I've been sitting there. I would like to, one of two things. Either pick up some more plots under a good deal. I'm primarily looking at rares and epics. However, if I see, and I think that the land has, let's take a look at where, oh, that's what I was buying earlier, the Mischievous Mermaid, if you didn't catch that. Let's see here. Land. So we're just a shade under $30 US per plot in common. Now, if these sink to like $20, $25, I might start going into buying some commons. But at this point in time, I'm really looking at rares and epics in specific areas. And if I see some deals, and I'm checking 2 or 3 times a day, I'm not. Most days of the week I can't sit here I don't work from home. When I do work from home, I can keep an eye on the market. But there's some people, and some of the people that I'm looking at, their specific plots they have for sale, they haven't touched it in like 2 months. So it's clear that these people are not really worried about that. They're just going to set it and forget it. But as soon as those things change, and if they decide to bring it down a minute, that might make a big difference. So as you know, I've stated in the past, I'm really looking forward to the land game. And if I see some deals, I'll be picking them up. Let's see. Alex says about buy gold common for 19 cents. Let's see. I haven't looked at the gold commons lately. Let's see here. Let's go back to card market. And so we got the cheapest per BCX. Let's just look at the Heatsmith because that's usually the lowest. 24 cents, sitting at 24 cents. So you said you bought some at 19 cents. That's good. Looks like it's picking back up. I looked at them a few days ago, and they were on the downswing. So Bloodmaker's still down. It just really depends upon what you need. Mid-level. I still say that these gold foils are good value for people who are landholders. Have 100 plots in D-crops. You know what? I kind of, D-crops came across my radar. I've heard of it, off and on over the last, since it's been out, right? And I just never dove into it. And I kind of took a look at it the other day, and I'm like, I've got enough games. I just can't expand to another game. I just have such limited time trying to keep up with everything. Like I said on the channel, I want to keep up with the Splinterlands topics. I want to keep up with the Golem Overlord topics. I'm still playing TerraCore. I still got a number of other games on a different blockchain. So, it's just like a constant juggle. So I think that let's check out land. We just did, but I want to look at specifically rares. You can see that rares are below $50 now, which, a month ago, 2 months ago, they were huge. They were up to $80, $90, So I'm also primarily targeting land with building in the box on them. I know that only represents like a, for most people, like a $5 or $6. You could buy the power source for $5 or $6, and that wouldn't stop me from buying a good deal. But it's more attractive when it has building in the box on it, right? So. Not so much unstable totem, even though that does present a good value. But also, from my standpoint, when I do go ahead and buy land, I'm also going to be buying more totems because I also want a totem on each of my plots. I currently have 10 plots, 10 totems, right? And I have seen that totems have come down. They were hovering in the 18 to 20 US dollars per common totem for the longest time, and now they're about down to about $15. This tells me that people either, I don't know, stopped, well, not stopped, but the value of them in people's minds has come down, so the price has come down. Also, look at this. Chaos Legion pack sitting at 89 cents. I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but as that price has come below $1, they're increasingly attractive, especially for new players. If you're new to the game, Chaos Legion packs, cheap and good play value. I got a pack of Rebellion, then sold it, then got a pack, then sold it. So far I'm 4, but trying to get to 10 for a free card. Oh, I see what you mean. Let's see, what are they going for? A little bit above $3. I guess. Yeah. The only idea I can have is as far as doing that is exactly what you're doing to get the free card, right? Because you're going to be taking a little bit of a loss each time you do that. And on the flip side, whenever the initial airdrop cards are done, you won't have the packs to go ahead and stake. But that goes back to my question, which is still a big question up in the air, and I kind of feel like I know which way it's going to go, right? My big question is, okay, so I've said this before, I have 50 packs, right? and I'm going to get like 5 cards to go ahead and stake on a battle wagon, and stake those 50 packs on that battle wagon for the initial airdrop period, right? And as we've heard, those airdrop periods are going to be about a month, right? And then you can carry over your battle wagons to the next one, right? Or you can redo things, get multiple battle wagons. They're going to cost a little bit. Each battle wagon's going to cost a little bit to go ahead and kit out, and you can put up to 100 packs on each battle wagon. But I guess the overall sentiment that I kind of feel which way it's going to be is that the larger, I guess to boil it down, 50 packs might not even be worth worrying about. But, you know, as far as going ahead and staking it on a wagon and getting in on the future airdrops, because what I found is, like, you know, in the past with the Chaos Legion, I know completely different argument, but I had like 125 packs, which only about, I guess, 50 to 75 of them were bought off the actual store. The rest of them were bought off the secondary market, right? Which I may increase my holding of Chaos Legion packs because I do have. There's a significant portion of my Chaos Legion set that is not up to level yet. So I think at this point with the cost, I mean, it's almost a no-brainer, especially, like I said, if you're new to the game. But what I found was I got such an infinitesimal, if that's the word, such a small percentage chance to actually get an airdrop that it wasn't even worth it. So I kind of feel that even though this is a different system and it's interesting, and they kind of it was kind of a holdover to me. It's very similar to the whole idea of staking on land. So they took a lot of the ideas off of card staking on land and moved it into a situation where you're staking cards for airdrop points. But I think the same takeaway is going to be there in the fact that unless you buy a huge amount of packs, you're going to have such a small amount of a chance of actually getting a card. And there's also the other variable in the fact that, and he didn't put any specifics on it, but he kept stipulating that there's only a set amount of airdrop cards that will be available. And then basically the larger percentage of staked points you have, airdrop points on a battle wagon, obviously the higher percentage chance you have for each one of those cards. So to me, that says that you're fighting for a smaller portion of cards compared to last time, and you're going to have to increasingly buy more packs. Obviously, he also stated that he's trying to get away from the whole, making people want to buy more packs than you actually want. But to me, it's the same situation. So with that said, without beating that horse any further, I'm going to stake the 50 packs I have. I'm going to buy 5 cards, probably at playing level, maybe max level. I don't know, depending upon the cost. I expect that when these cards first hit the market, like most other expansions, when they go live for the first month, costs on cards are going to be pretty high. So it may be pretty expensive to kit out a battle wagon with max level cards. So we'll see where that goes. But I'm going to buy some cards, kit out a battle wagon with my 50 packs, and just kind of report on where we are. Because one thing you will remember seeing, I did a review, or I don't know if you want to say review, but a look at the new UI for the battle wagon, is the fact that you should be able to see a percentage point, a percentage of your chance of getting a airdrop card with what you have staked. So that's a good idea. It's a good idea. So if I get mine staked out and I have just this very small chance of getting a card, then I'll probably be like, oh, hell with it. I'm going to just go ahead and open my packs and get on with the game and just not even worry about the battle wagon thing. So if DEC goes down, it helps. Yes, correct. As far as buying the packs, good point. This battle wagon thing is why Splinterlands has issues. They just keep adding stuff, but don't finish land, soul keep, etc. They're like all over the place. I think, you know, at a certain point, you're right. They were all over the place, and I think that's why they strategically made the split of the company so he could focus more on Splinterlands. But I also have to agree that we couldn't do an airdrop like it was previously because that was broken, I feel. I feel that the whole system where you buy mass amounts of packs and then resell and just keep buying and selling and buying and selling led to a point of what my previous point was. I'm just your average Joe who bought a few packs. I had such infinitely small chances of getting an airdrop card. It just really wasn't even worth it for me. From my standard perspective, as you know, I've made videos about this in the past, is I try to find good deals, try to report on ways that is the most economical way to play the game. And frankly, from economics point of view, it's not worth it to buy packs off of the store, right? Whatever your packs may be. And you can look at this store I have up on the screen right now, and it just proves my point, you know. If you're coming into the game, you can jump into the game and just buy Chaos Legion packs, 5 cards for 89 US cents, which is a great value. You know, you can buy Rift Watchers packs for $3.75. You can go in and instead of paying $4 or $5 for a Rebellion pack, which isn't even released now, you can go on the store and you can buy a pack for $3.02. And you can get yourself set up for $1 or $2 less per pack and get in line to be able to do your battle wagon thing for much cheaper than just buying off the store. Of course, you give up the possibility of getting getting those initial airdrop cards, right? So it's just give and take right there. I need 700 DEC to get another pack of Rebellion. My income of DEC, I have a tertiary account that I rent some cards. I throw a lot of like my gold cards on this rental account, and I don't combine them. But I've been getting so few DEC lately. There was a point, I don't know, this was more than a year ago, where it was great DEC rolling in as far as rentals, you know. In fact, at one point, I had completely shut off my secondary account from playing, and I had everything that wasn't on my primary account. I had allotted, like a lot of gold cards and a lot of you know, summoners and stuff like that was renting out, and I was pulling in 1,500 to 3,000 DEC a day. Now, frankly, I'm doing good to make, you know, 15 DEC a day. That's just kind of towards your point of needing another 700 DEC. I have bought a little bit of DEC here and there. I think the last time I bought DEC was the other day when I bought packs, and I bought the 50 packs. Actually, I didn't buy a whole lot of DEC at that point in time because I had to dip into the DEC I had for land reserved. Land is so delayed, I took the DEC and moved it to Bitcoin. Interesting. I haven't really, besides what I've been doing in crypto, I've been buying, like I said, SPS and DEC a little bit lately. I've been using various tokens such as Forgium, and buying some shards on Golem Overlord. I haven't really bought any part, but I have been buying a few shards. But I haven't really been taking. I've never really taken much out of Splinterlands. All I've ever done is just like put into it. Whatever that says about me, right? So. Want to play a game for 1 voucher gold level. Yeah, send me an invite. Not saying I'm the best player. Let's see how this goes. Don't look at your screen and see what I'm doing. Well, here, let me take this off the screen. And for some reason, it's just spinning. It appears that there's a delay on the blockchain. Okay, here we go. No rules. See what we got here. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Let's see where we go with this. Should be an interesting battle. It was a mid-level mana, 31 mana, no rules, rule set. Alex challenged me. And we only had life to choose from. Okay, let's take a look at this. So Alex is bringing out the Dr. Blight. Interesting. Let's go ahead and see what happens here. Maxed out Blinding Reflector. He's going to end up taking out my heal. Yeah, that's going to kill me right there. I need to take out his sneak back there. Yeah, I'm done for here. Yeah, that scavenge really helps. I've always wanted a Dr. Blight. It's always been too expensive for me, though. Okay, good game. Yeah, Dispel. Would come in handy there. Yeah, I mean, even at level 3, he's pretty expensive, you have to admit. I will agree that it's a good value proposition. He's pretty strong. Hey, how do you spell your name in game, Alex? Is that correct? Alex says paid $28 a copy, but I did get my first Dr. Blight for 100. Yeah. Two L's. Okay. Okay, let's do another one. See where we land. Anybody else has anything else they want to discuss, go ahead. Just taking a few minutes to do some battles. Haven't done this in quite a while. Seems to be a delay on the blockchain, and I've heard this reported a few times this week. In various games, and not just Splinterlands, various games on the Hive blockchain. Okay. So we've got 29 mana cap. We've got Wands Out. We've got Holy Protection. Monsters have Divine Shield. Ha! So this is another thing. When you come up with weird rule sets like this, monsters have the Divine Shield ability, and then unprotected monsters do not have any armor. So let's go ahead and create team. So we have a pretty good selection. I'm going to take this off screen. We have 29 mana to work with. Pretty good selection of different splinters. Let's see, magic. So let's see here. Kind of a mid-mana match here. Okay, got my team set up. See where we go. Yeah, it is true. Nobody plays on YouTube anymore. Just talk about the money. Yeah, I really try to not... I try to vary up my commentary on different stuff. Sometimes people want to watch it, sometimes they don't. I kind of find just talking about money every time kind of boring. Okay, so Alex went with water. I went with green. And once again, he's got the old Dr. Blight on the back there. Looks like a pretty strong hand. I do love Ice Pixie. I do love me some Jin Oceanus. So let's see where this goes. Oh, he pulled out... I'm not familiar with this summoner. I'll have to take a look at it. Oh, did Dragon. That's why I'm not familiar with that summoner. We'll take a look at that summoner after this. Oh my tank went down. I keep missing. That's like the third miss in a row. Yeah, I'm going down. See, Riverboat Captain, this is another nice one. Gathering Magic got one on his chest opening earlier, and I was commenting, I really like this card, but I need to find a really strong way to play it. What was the name of that summoner you used there? Let's see. Oh, Thispa. Yeah, I'm familiar with Thispa. Why did I not recognize the artwork? Maybe because it was blowing up so much. Okay, that's enough. Battles. Let's see here. Okay, we have to transfer some into. Okay, well, let's talk about Golem Overlord a little bit. If anybody has anything else they want to discuss as far as Splinterlands, we can jump back and forth. I haven't played. I've been playing Splinter Forge, just doing my my daily battles and such. Have not increased anything lately. Alex says I use a level 2 summoner and had a level 6. See, the Rift summoners are good. Yeah, I agree. I'm not, one of the weak points of my collection is, let's go ahead and clear, reset, and look at summoners. One of the weak points of my collection is summoners. My Rift summoners are not very high. Well, any of my Rift Watchers cards are not very high. And I do have my regular standard common Chaos Legion at where I need level 6, but my other cards, I do have Grandmaster Wraith at level 3. I do have Quixodevious level 3 because I get a lot of mileage out of him. The bot plays him quite often. But my other nicer ones, such as Passibulus and Chaos, and jumping back and forth with Riftwatcher, Fernheart, most of these are just level 1. I have been thinking about putting more money into them as the price is coming down, though. But Dr. Blight is overpowered. Must have a gold. Yeah, I agree. It's just that let's let's take a look at where. Excuse me. I loved to play blue when I first got into the game. Let's look at neutral, legendary. So we look at Dr. Blight, and a level 3 is almost $175, $172.26. A full level 4 is $300. So one BCX is sitting at like $29, $30. Like I said, a great card, but it's like one of those things. It's like anything else in life. You're like, oh, I really want that, and then you go to sit down and spend the money on it, and you're like, oh, that's too much. But I do agree. It's a great card, and especially in gold and above, it really picks up because. So at level 1, it has Affliction and Camouflage. At level 2, it picks up Poison. I feel that you almost, to be worth playing it, you need that Poison. And then obviously after you go up, he picks up Scavenger, which makes him great. And then above that, Weaken, kind of the tip of the iceberg, the cream of the crop, so to speak. But I feel with Dr. Blight, I kind of looked at this when I was thinking about buying it, and you at least need to have him to use with Poison to make it worth it. So, okay, different topic. Golem Overlord. This week, like I said, we were able to bring our guild up to level, which got us another percentage point as far as claims go. my perception of the game has changed since we started playing. In fact, that if I would have had this knowledge from the start, I would have started with my account in a different way. Okay, meaning that I was late on the train to advance my prestige. And I'm up to almost level 10 prestige now, but I've really put a concerted push into it over the last couple weeks. Now, the reason why is because I think you get more bang for your buck, so to speak, upping your prestige or burning for rep to get your prestige up and increasing these bonuses. Then you get spending the same amount of money, and I haven't added it up and everything, for each individual stat, right? I also feel like you get, I've also put a concerted effort into getting that extra percentage points for claim by upping the Golem charging station. Golem charging station does other things, but one thing it does, if you notice down here at your percentages, that it also ups your claim percentage by 1 percentage point each time. Now, there was this overall talking point lately, and it's on Yixen's list of things to do to overhaul or maybe not overhaul, but improve upon and change the prestige system for what we would call like the in-game. I don't even want to call it in-game, but for higher level, because basically here's the point. You go up to level 10 or you go up to level 9 in prestige, right? And these bonuses in power, fortification, and faith all increase, right? So it makes it worth it. Plus, you have an extra percentage point that you get per level on your claim bonus, which helps. You know, this is like this game is a battle of extra percentage points. So every extra percentage point you can add here and there, and in some cases they don't stack, but your percentage point in claim is what I'm talking about. Every percentage point helps. So with that said, when you hit level 9 and go to level 10 and above, at this point in time, you don't pick up any extra power, you don't pick up any extra fortification, you don't pick up any extra faith. They stay at plus 17, plus 18, and plus 18, and the highest level, and that's dictated really by the level, because the level after level prestige 9 stays at level 50. And you'll notice that I've been working, or you'll notice that I'm working on level 50 on prestige 10. And I can tell you that when I clicked into level 49, my prestige or my experience needed to get to the next level. It just went up. It was just exponential, right? So going forward, level 10 and forward, you're going to still pick up that extra percentage point on claim, but it increases exponentially the amount you have to pay to get each level, and you're not getting any extra level max. It's going to stay at 50, and you're not going to get any extra level bonuses as far as faith, power, and fortification. So that's where we stand. It is on his list of things to do. There are a lot of things in game that he has added within the last several weeks that are very cool, but they end up costing a lot of money, right? So I guess I'm at a point where, so we will take a look at the market. And one thing I did like last week, I guess, was increase the, let's go back out, increase the rarity of my background. So one of the basic things he first added in the game was backgrounds. And what they do is they increase your shard drop claim multiplier. I wanted to say that correctly. So currently I have a purple, and I would like to have a yellow. And sorry, I forget the actual So purple is exceptional, yellow is invaluable. So currently I would like to step up to the invaluable background to include, I'm just trying to increase my drop chances and percentages a little bit at a time. So, now this one actually went up because last week this was sitting at 90. So these are going up. But overall, let's see, I think that's going to be, let me pull up my calculator here. Last time I checked, what's Hive going for now? So 33 cents. Just to give you an example. So that background is almost, 36.5 US dollars. I guess that goes to kind of prove my point that everything is pretty expensive. So just to improve my background from exceptional to invaluable, and that's not even taking into account maybe I don't like that artwork. Maybe I want to buy a different artwork, right? Let's go ahead and go back. So the cheapest one, actually it's a little bit more than that because I figured at 110. This is at 119 currently. Love the different artwork. It's just expensive to get into. Now let's look at some of the newer items, but that's a basic thing you need to go ahead and improve, get a good background. Now, generally speaking, like I've said before, I don't buy things that are just for visuals. I want stats. Okay, if I'm going to spend money, I want stats to improve, right? So we are talking about the next thing I would look at is modules. Now, I do have a precious module, and I would like to move up to an exceptional module, but once again, sitting at 95. The cheapest one is 95, and arguably not the best stats, right? So on top of that, 200. So we're going up for an ultra amplifier purple. You're looking at, in the exceptional rarity, you're looking at in the $70 to $80 range, US dollars. So it's just super expensive to get into and start working with these items. And like I said, I would like to do some examples and do some demonstrations, but I'm just not where I need to be able to spend a bunch of money on this. And I'm not poor, right? But it's just I'm spread out amongst a number of games, and I'm trying to get the best value. Like I said, back on the whole buying land in Splinterlands, I would like to go ahead and buy a few more plots. But I do like this idea, and you can go into I've done a video on this, but if you're kind of just eyeing this game and thinking about getting into it, first of all, we have spots open in the guild. Jump in the guild, and I have a link that I'll leave in the comments section if you want to join the game, or if you have friends that want to join, go ahead and pass along this information to them. I just want to take a minute because I always forget to do this. As a YouTuber, I always forget to ask you to like that video and to subscribe. But I also want to ask if you have friends that play these games we're talking about, send my information, a few links of my videos to them to kind of spread it around. I kind of want to make, obviously the goal is to make the audience for the channel bigger, but I hate to be that guy that's always like in your face, like and subscribe now. But anyway, lots of new things in the game, and I like the Pyrite Forge in the fact that you can go in and you can improve the quality of different things. You can add, you can subtract different stats from things such as modules. You can work with them, but what I found is a lot of this takes a lot of it basically takes a lot of money to upgrade this stuff and re-roll and stuff like that. I like the ability to do that, but it is fairly pricey, right? So but we do have spots in the guild, and let's see where we're at here. So we've got up to 17 spots now. Yeah. So we have 4 slots open. I have been kind of even though I don't, in the past, in other games, I hadn't just like randomly sent out invites to people that didn't really request it. But in this game, I feel that most players have most higher, mid to higher end players have a guild. So I've been kind of looking at people and just sending out invites. So far, we did have one taker, and he seems to be happy in the guild. He or she, Swiftstorm 5, thank you very much. And we have a number of other players that are associated with the channel that are members. So I think it's going in a good direction, and he's adding a lot of things to this game that makes it increasingly more interesting, but also more complicated to play. Like I said, it's a fine. I've said this in a number of videos, especially kind of related back to my experience with Magic the Gathering. When you have these games, you want to keep expanding the games and making new things to keep people interesting while also bringing money into the game to keep yourself going, right, as a business, right? But at a certain point, you're borderline too complicated, because once you get too complicated, then you start losing people that are like, oh, this is too complicated, you know? But with that said, I am looking forward to the new modes of gameplay, the expeditions and such. So I am looking forward to that. So we're drawing down towards the bottom of the hour. I do appreciate everybody's time. Anybody want to get the last word in? Any last things to say about Splinterlands this week? What you're looking forward to? What actions you're going to take in game? And or Golem Overlord. Oh, I know. I was going to take a look at. Let's go ahead and refresh. I'm really tempted in to buy some Chaos Legion packs and do an opening on. It's been a while since I did a card pack opening, other than my standard 3 or 4 here and there. Let's see. Well, SPS is still, I mean, it's picked up a little bit since last week. DEC is holding its own. I like to see it. It's holding its own above 90 cents per thousand. Voucher has not, it's come back down from the card pack sales, which obviously people bought a bunch to buy Rebellion packs, but it's still holding its own above where it was, 2 weeks ago. I like to see overall that Hive has picked up. The actual price of Rebellion packs has come down somewhat since last week when we last discussed this, down from about the $4 range to $3.82 if you're using SPS or DC and vouchers, right? So if you're going for those pre-sale airdrops, it's come down in price a little bit. We saw the increase in DEC supply. This was right around the time when people were reporting the burning of cards, which is interesting, and I didn't really get into it. I did check around a little bit when people were reporting that. I couldn't find a specific good use case for me to do it. I think to improve the DEC supply like this, these were large card holders, buyers and sellers. So, and as we talked about, the Chaos Legion pack price has went down over the last 60 days. The Rift Watcher packs has actually went up, and the Nightmare packs have gone down because I don't want to say backburnered, but they have kind of changed that back to it still exists on the timeline. It's just now behind Land 1.5, obviously another project from them to work on. I have picked up a few tower defense packs. I don't have overall. I think I have 20 or 25 packs at this point. They're still sitting there and just drawing a few SPS in, a little bit of SPS in. I think it's drawn like one pack draws like 0.01 SPS, some very small amount of SPS per day. So I wouldn't advise people to just buy tower defense packs just to get SPS. And node license have picked up a little bit. Looks like they're averaging about $520 depending upon which day you have. So, well, we're at the end of the hour, so I want to say thanks for dropping by. Please like and subscribe. And overall, on my videos, please leave comments. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, but I use those comments to kind of see where I'm standing. Like this last video, you know, there was some different viewpoints I wasn't taking into account. So we'll go forward. I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy, and I hope your week goes well. Thanks for dropping by. This has been Bronze Dragon, and I will see you on the flip side.